In some senses it appears extraordinary, but if you know the Conservative Party, I think what it does is it speaks to what is the natural instinct of the Conservative Party, a desire to try and find some kind of common cause. And I think this process of discussions with, as you say, people on the Leave side like Jacob Rees-Mogg and Steve Baker and others like Nicky Morgan, etc., on the Remain side, recognising some absolutes. We're leaving. We're down to leave on the 29th of March. We want to make the process as good as possible, i.e. get an agreement, so give that bit of it. Failing the fact the EU might not want to make that withdrawal agreement, that manage the process of leaving towards a free trade deal or WTO in a managed way, no cliff edges, give security to business, let them know there's not going to be a sudden shock or a sudden change, all that. It's the common sense approval of saying, right, let's make this work one way or the other without crashing into new referendums and just extending for the sake of it.
What has been the response of Downing Street? Because Mrs May has always been very clear, it's her deal or no deal.
Actually, the response from the government, including Downing Street, has been by and large pretty positive. I was seeing the Prime Minister yesterday. She accepted that this was a very good place to be. It isn't an official embrace. We're looking for her from the dispatch box today to make it clear what she's actually trying to achieve. But I think what was really interesting for me last night, there is a Conservative WhatsApp group in which pretty much most of the Conservative Party of all views on this are on. It exploded last night with a desire to come together. And I think this is the main bit for the government to take away. Ordinary backbenchers said, we can compromise around this agreement. We are happy to do it on all sides. I think this is the biggest signal. The party is ready to find a way through.
But before you get to that, we have a series of votes tonight, including one on the so-called Graham-Brady amendment, which last night leading members of the European Research Group said, no, we are not going to support it. So, would you now support this amendment, given Mrs May is instructing Tory MPs to support it, and do you think those Brexiteers who previously voiced opposition will also support it?
Now, I can't speak for absolutely everybody, obviously, because everybody's an individual. I think the view is really essentially this, that right now that amendment, as it stands, is somewhat vague, and it's about binding in. The key thing is, how clear is the Prime Minister going to be at the dispatch box today when she speaks? It all hangs now on what she says. There is a mood to want to compromise. There is a mood to want to support. So if the Prime Minister is clear about the legally binding change that's necessary, her desire to get this through come what may, her recognition that this process that Nicky Morgan and the others have been engaged in does set the framework for how we can come together. If that is all positive and strong, I think you'll find the party across the board will say, okay, let's get behind this and give her a fair win. But it is important that she now needs to lead this process. Otherwise, people are left to interpret this themselves. She needs to interpret it clearly.